Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and I first want to apologize to you guys for the lack of updates and stuff like that. I literally have had somewhat of a frustrating week at work. Work has just been super busy. If you didn't know, I work at Goodwill, and just like any other business, we are kind of struggling because we have not as many people on staff as we should. So, yeah, it's been a hard time for my company and to all those other companies out there who are low on staff. I feel you, but keep up the good work that you are doing, because it'll pay off in the end, and you will eventually be fully staffed, because I mean, tons of people will be looking for a job in the summer. So yeah, but anyway, this video is not about that mainly. I just wanted to share with you guys what I've been reading, and let's first start with what I have read and finished. Okay, so far for the month of May, I've only read 2 books, which is sad. I'm trying to break that from happening. I feel like this whole year so far, it's been an average of 2 to 3 books a month for me, because I don't know, there's just a lot of factors. Lack of motivation, and then also just, work life has just kind of gotten crazy and such. So I'm going to hopefully push through. And one thing I definitely am starting to utilize more is audiobooks. Like one of the books I will talk to you about in a second, I am reading via audiobook, because this is a book I was kind of on the fence of buying the physical book. So if I like what I read in the audiobook, because I'm also reading along with it on the Amazon Kindle app while I'm yeah. But let's get started, shall we? Alright. The first book that I finished in the month of May was Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, which is the third and final book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. If you do not know what the Shadow and Bone trilogy is, it is about a girl named Alina Starkov who grew up as an orphan in Ravka, particularly West Ravka, I believe, because Ravka has been divided because of the Unsea, which is also the Shadowfold, which was created by the Darkling, and she grew up with her best friend Mal, and they grow up to be soldiers in the First Army, and he becomes a tracker and she is a map maker, and one day their whole group decides to travel through the Unsea, aka the Shadowfold, and she unleashes a power that she did not know she had, and she basically summons light. And this is not a spoiler, it's like in the synopsis. And obviously, like I said, she didn't know she had that power. And so when they're crossing the Shadowfold, her power gets unleashed because they get attacked by these bird-like creatures called the Volcra, and thus unleashes a whole new source of questions against her, because a lot of people are like, "You're a Grisha? how long have you been hiding this? Whatever. And so she's forced to live in the little palace with where the king and queen of Ravka live, and there she learned a lot of things about the Grisha and a lot of things about herself that she wasn't unaware of. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But it's a fantastic book series. Definitely not one of my favorites, but I do enjoy it. And I will get more into detail into the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which, by the way, was made into a Netflix show. And I've only seen the first episode all the way through and a portion of the second episode. And I'm going to continue reading or watching the series, especially since the second book, which I read last month, season 2 will be made and come out next year. And Seek and Storm is my favorite book in the series. So, yeah. The second book I read in this month is none other than Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is a continuation in the Villains series by Victoria Schwab. First one was called Vicious. And this series is about two friends named Eli and Victor who are attending medical school. And Eli decides to take on... they're doing a thesis, and Eli decides to do his thesis on EOs, which are extraordinaries. People that, humans that have superpowers. And so, because he does that, Victor also gets intrigued. And Victor says to him, why don't we take it up a notch? Why don't we try to do the experiment on ourselves? And by the way, EOs are currently a myth in this book. Not many people know about them. Or, well, they do know about them, but like I said, it's a myth. So not everybody believes in EOs. But Victor and Eli decide to do an experiment, and they find out to become an EO, you have to have a near-death experience. And it's and they both have multiple attempts at it until they finally succeed and have powers of their own. But when that happens, one of them betrays the other. And then their ugly rivalry is born, and they become arch nemesis, each other's arch enemy, in a way. So, yeah, the first book was really, really fantastic, and I loved it. And this book is just as good. The only thing I will say, and I will get more into detail about this when I do the book review, is the ending just kind of, I don't know, fell flat for me. And then, there are some other things. But I really did enjoy this book. And Victoria Schwab said that she is going to write the third book in this series. There will be a third book for those of you that are reading this series right now. So, if you get to the second book and you're like, rest assured that there will be a third book. Do not know when, but it's going to happen. And right now, I am currently in between 3 books. That's right, I am reading 3 books at the same time right now. One of them is the book that I said I was reading via audio. And then the other 2 are books that I'm reading physically. Now let's talk about the physical books first. And they are Hidden Figures and The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Hidden Figures is about four women who, four African American women who end up working in NASA as mathematicians. Like, they're all very smart and gifted women. And this also happens to be the untold true story about these women and their journey in NASA, as one being like the first women, I believe, and also the first African American women to ever work for NASA. Like, this is set in the I can't remember what year this is set in, but it's set in like 50s or something like that, 60s. And I know there's a movie, so I will definitely be watching the movie after I finish this book. And I can't wait to continue reading this. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. This is about a girl named Sita Lee, who is a director, a big time director in New York. She directs plays and Broadway, basically. And yeah, she's finally gotten a breakthrough, and she gets interviewed by this newspaper, and she says some things about her family and her home life, of when she was growing up. And the newspaper kind of twists everything she said. She said some revealing things, but the newspaper twisted some of it even further. And her family reached out to her, and basically, at least most of her family reached out to her and disowned her. And so she's got to deal with that, as well as, dealing with a new play that she's working on with some other people. But in order to do that, she has to go back home and tap into some creative juices, and her family is going to be a tool that helps her do that, I guess. I've seen the movie for this too. I haven't seen it in a long time though. The movie stars Ashley Judd and Sandra Bullock. So I'm super excited to watch the movie again after reading this, because I never read the book, like I said, but I'm super excited for it. And then the other book that I am currently reading as well, and I'm going to put this on, or put a picture of it up, because I don't have a physical copy, because it's the audiobook. And that book is Jade City by Fonda Lee. Jade City is an Asian-inspired fantasy where there are these different groups of clans, or clansmen, or there are these different groups of people who possess many different abilities, and they use these little stones or whatever called jade, which enhances their abilities. And you have to be of a certain you have to be, like, I think, Cacanese in order to wear jade, or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, all the men and women who wear jade are highly looked up to by other people. And just, and that is the family dynamics between the characters, and then also the, like, mobster like elements that are happening between these different clans. So I am super excited to continue reading it. The magic system seems a little one note for me, but I am still somewhat enjoying this book. And I know quite a few people who did enjoy this book, like my friend Vish, from her channel Books with V. You should definitely check her out. She's great. She really enjoyed this book, and I think she has a very detailed review on it, which, of course, I have not watched because I have not finished this book. But I'm like 11 chapters in. Like I said, I'm reading it via audiobook, and then I'm also reading along with the audiobook because I have a book on an ebook form. So, yeah. I am 11 chapters in, like I said, and I think it's pretty good so far. And I hope I like it enough to continue the series. Oh, and a book that I really, really, really want to get to before the end of the month, and I'm buddy reading it with a friend on Shelf Space, is Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. Now, if you don't know who Victoria Aveyard is, she is responsible for the Red Queen series, a very powerful line, and she has to stop this evil that's threatening her world. And why it's called Realm Breaker is because in this world that our character lives in, there used to be tons of portals where people can travel through, but most of the portals have since been destroyed, but there's rumored to be like one or two left, and our main antagonist, which I don't know anything about because I haven't read this yet, is threatening to use the portal as a means to bring destruction to this world. And obviously, like I said, our main character, Corinne, has to stop it. And she has the help of an assassin and an immortal being alongside her. So I can't wait to read this. And I'm hoping my friend Trinity can also read this with me as well, and our other friend. So please, Trinity, if you're watching, please find time to pick up this book. Please. Anyway, you guys, that was it for this video. If you didn't, please like and subscribe. That would mean so much to me. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of some of these books that I'm reading or planning on reading for this month. And let me know also in the comments if you've read some of these already, or if you're planning, or what books you're reading. That would be awesome. Anyway, you guys, I shall see you later. Bye.